Hi, I'm Rachel Bomberger with Erdman's Publishing. I'm here with Seow, who is the editor of the new commentary series Illuminations, and also the author of its inaugural volume on Job. Welcome, Leung.
Thank you.
First off, I have to ask you, what was the impetus or the inspiration behind this new commentary series?
Inspiration is a good term. I'm trained as a historical scholar. I do philology, I do historical exegesis, theology, and so forth. And I knew that from the 1980s onwards, there was a lot of interest in history of interpretation and reception, and we all sort of say, well, this is important to do. But many people do not quite know what to do with material. I certainly didn't. I was not trained in art, no background in music. So I thought I would do the minimum amount of work and then just, get by. But I saw this enormous amount of material. I thought, I've got to figure out what to do with this. Then I was in the museum in Taiwan, which has the largest collection of landscape paintings anywhere in the world. And in Chinese paintings, you typically get a picture and then you get a couple of red stamps, maybe a poem or two, This one I saw was a huge piece with like 40 stamps on them, with different writings. Now I learned that in Chinese painting, the more stamps there are, the more value the painting. See, the value does not reside in what the original artist intended. The value resides in the conversation that takes place. So the artist might come and paint a poem, write a poem, another one might write another poem, different points of views will be added, and then these conversations, different points of view together makes the painting valuable. That was my aha moment. This is why we do reception history. See, so it is not just getting back to the original meaning of the Bible or of Job, 2,000 some years ago. The point is the conversation that takes place. So it becomes a living piece of art. See, that this is what we're supposed to do. And that was my aha moment. I thought the commentary should not simply be us doing archaeology of the text, digging to find original meaning. It is to see how all these different perspectives together shed light, illumine the text. So that was my aha moment. Then I thought, I'll just do this not just for my own commentary, we'll do a whole series on this. So that's how it got started at a museum, of all places.
So, spell out for me a little bit more clearly then. I mean, there are so many commentaries already out there. People are going to want to know what makes this one different. Why should the shelf space go to this wonderful new project?
Yeah, I've been frustrated with commentaries for a long time. They often do not tell you what you need to know. Sometimes you get into a particular difficult text and say, what does the Hebrew really, what do you do with this difficult stuff? And there are commentaries that just don't deal with that. So I've been frustrated to find a commentary that's enough depth and breadth. So what this commentary does, and often in commentaries, you begin with notes. And so you get all the technical stuff, right? And sometimes you get pages and pages and pages of notes before you get to the commentary part. And I think that kills interest. So I want to get a commentary that starts off with lively conversation. The author is painting a picture, dealing with text organically without a lot of encumbrances, secondary literature, German discussion, and Hebrew and all that. So keep that to a minimum. Do a generic conversation and an organic presentation of the text. And then the reader who wants to know why the author has made this argument will then go to the commentary, which comes after this organic part. So we reverse. I know this is a simple idea, you see, but no one has done this before. We reverse. Make the first part readable and fun. And then as the reader wants to, the reader can then go to the reference, as the reader, is interested in certain topic, they will then do that.
It's such a simple,
very
wonderful idea.
Yeah. Also, I want a commentary that engages history of interpretation. You will often get Jewish commentators will engage Jewish interpretation. Some Christian commentators may engage Christian interpretation. I wanted to get them all. So I want to have Jews and Christians reading the text side by side. So I think that's the excitement for me in the series. Maybe biblical scholars are a bit conservative. We think the text resides only in our deep analysis of the language and the structure of the text. And artists, they do not know anything about the text. But in fact, when you pay close attention, you find artists are often very insightful. And so I've learned, to read with an open mind, to see what artists are trying to say, And then sometimes, they bring new meaning, completely new meaning. I'm surprised by new meaning that they bring, or musicians, or poets. It just enriches the text so much more.
One only has to hear Bach on the Passions.
Yes, that's right.
Or
Absolutely.
any number of examples to know that they bring so many insights. So, what are some of, looking more carefully at the commentary, the first volume in the series, your commentary on Job, how does allowing these artists to talk to you about the text give new insight into it?
Well, you might be surprised to notice of all the books in our Bible, perhaps Psalms has a richer reception. Job is at least second.
Really?
There are 3,000 visual images of Job around the world in history. 3,000. Huh. Now this cannot be without meaning. So I try to explore a lot of these and then sort of find out, what are they trying to do? What are they trying to tell me? And I try to bring, in every chapter, I bring a certain piece of art into conversation. So every chapter there's at least one or two, sometimes three images that I bring into conversation to shed light. There's one interesting piece, that's chapter 1, where you have a Japanese artist doing this statue of Job. And you've got Job as an innocent schoolboy. And then God and Satan are standing between him. He's facing Satan, and God standing him, looking like Godzilla. And God is communicating with Satan. That the eye contact between God and Satan, and Job is totally oblivious to it. And Satan has his huge left hand stuck out. Well, if you look at different angles of this statue, God and Satan are actually playing rock, paper, scissors. So the artist is suggesting that God and Satan are engaged in this childish, silly game in which poor Job is caught. That's a pretty powerful way to read the text.
Yes.
See? So by showing that picture, you get the reader thinking about the text in a way that usual commentary would not. Job is a very beautiful book. I mean, it's widely regarded as the most beautiful book in the Bible. As a literature, it's just excellent. Also, it's a very passionate book. It's about suffering of an innocent person. Suffering is something not just people of faith encounter. Everybody encounters this. Yeah. And the passion with which Job speaks, his protestations against God, is just so genuine. I dare say there's no more theologically honest book in the Bible than the book of Job. It's theologically honest, and that grabs people.
Grabs artists especially.
Yeah, grabs artists, musicians, poets. Yeah.
Amazing. What, panning back out to the whole commentary series, could you give us, tell us something about some of the other contributors to the series who will be coming up over the next few volumes, and what sort of expertise they bring to the task at hand? Yeah, well,
we cover not just the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, and we saw the broader canonical writings. So we have got an interesting lineup of people. We've got scholars from all over the world. We've got Professor Jan Geertz from Heidelberg, who's going to be doing Genesis. Konrad Schmidt from Switzerland is going to be doing Exodus. We have Mark Brettler, very renowned Jewish scholar, who's going to be doing Deuteronomy. In New Testament, we have David Aune, one of the leading scholars, who's going to be doing Luke Acts as one book, 2 volumes, but as one book, which is very important. We've got Finn Perkins doing Colossians. We have Lawrence Stuckenbrook doing Revelation. We've got scholars and we try to mix, seasoned scholars and scholars who are just passionate and starting out. So we're trying to get people excited about this conversation about the Bible. The way the text is presented, we want people to read the first part. Each section starts with interpretation that's organic and it's untechnical. So they'll read that and use that regularly. But every now and then when they're curious, there is the reference library. So we think that it can be used, it's a commentary that's readable and enjoyable. You see, and can be used as a reference. There are people who use the commentaries. You just go there and you look at one verse and one passage. But then we want to do it in such a way that it's just fun to read. You just read it, and then every now and then you say, okay, I'm not just reading, I'm curious about this one particular point, this one word. You can go there too. So I think it will be a resource. Every book is itself a library.
Well, we're very much looking forward to the first volume.
I'm excited about it. Yeah,
Again, the commentary series is Illuminations, and the first volume will be on the first half of Job by Seow, my guest today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.